Military today reported the capture of two high-ranking al-Qaeda leaders with ties to the notorious Zarqawi network. One of the men is suspected in the recent kidnapping and murder of an Egyptian envoy in Iraq. And we have a special story out of Iraq tonight that's a bit hard to watch, but then again, a lot of the things that take place during a war are hard to watch, especially during the dinner hour in America. It's about a hospital emergency room in Baghdad whose patients are the lucky ones. At least they are alive. Consider this. So far this year, nearly 1,600 Iraqi civilians have been killed in the ongoing violence there. That is far more than the number of Iraqi soldier and police deaths combined. Our in-depth report tonight on the desperate efforts to save the wounded from NBC's Richard Engel in Baghdad.
They arrive any way they can, by ambulance or pickup, wheeled or carried. The injured flood into Baghdad's Yarmuk's hospital's emergency room.
This is a battlefield. It's very small, but it's a battlefield.
Where life and death is played out. Car bomb victims in western Baghdad. A construction worker shot in a gunfight between insurgents and police. A Shiite cleric and his bodyguard assassinated. A boy hostage thrown out of a moving car by kidnappers. Just some of the 800 cases treated in this tiny room each week, twice as many as before the war.
This room is a bad dream to every doctor here.
Holding it all together, ER director Dr. Jamil Al-Bayati. He says the emergency room, built mainly to deal with car crashes and house fires, is not equipped for urban war.
The rooms are bare, as you see.
It's a very simple room.
Yes, simple.
Like most doctors, Bayati earns less than $600 a month and has little to work with. Only one 30-year-old x-ray machine. And his ER filled with flies and discarded bandages. Air freshener and incense mask a dank smell. Infection here is not a risk, but an assumption.
The doctors and nurses say they show up every day ready for battle, but that the one thing they can't get used to is seeing their own friends and family brought here.
Nurse Hadi Karim was an army medic during both Gulf Wars. He says the injuries now are more horrific. The worst is treating the kids, Karim says. You can't stop their crying. One day, it became personal. I received a patient with 2 bullet wounds, he says. I washed away the blood and saw his face. He was my best friend. We don't need more equipment, Karim says. What we need is peace. The best they can do is stop the bleeding and patch people up. The staff say they're not in the business of miracles here.
You are trying to do your best, but of course we are losing as a community. We are losing.
Losing a war, measured here in blood, bandages, and unrelenting grief. Richard Engel, NBC.